Good morning, all of you. Welcome to the online classes of TMPS. Welcome back once again. So I hope you are studying class 10. This is a very important topic today we will be discussing. That is, we are on the road to our freedom. I have told you in the previous chapters that we are on the road to freedom. In the first chapter, we discussed about the revolt of 1857. What were the consequences of that? Next, we talked about what was the path of nationalism in India, how nationalism crept and growth of the nationalism was there in India, what was the contribution of different leaders in the freedom struggle. Now we will be moving towards a very important development that took place in India, and it led to the freedom struggle fastening as well as a pace pickup between 1885 to 1947. Yes, many of you must have guessed correct. Bilkul. Many of you have guessed correctly that it is INC, Indian National Congress. We are talking about an institution, a premier institution, a premier political society, party which played a very important role in formation of nationalism in India, in formation of a spirit of nationalism in India, and all the big leaders which are associated, which we basically know. It is not correct that all the big leaders are there from the Congress only. There were many more institutions and many more organizations which were there. But what happened, the limelight was there with the Congress only because of Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Then Gandhi ji came into limelight, Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister. So that is why what happened, that the Congress came into limelight. It was also an important organization that played an important role in development of nationalism in India and in the freedom struggle to our country. So I hope that you are studying, and let us start this topic that will be starting today, the formation of INC, Indian National Congress. Many of you know that the Indian National Congress was founded in the year 1885. Yes, correct. It was founded by a retired British ICS officer whose name was Allen Octavian Hume. A.O. Hume, H-U-M-E. Basically, his full name was Allen Octavian Hume. He, along with, there was one important name that was Lord Dufferin. Lord Dufferin was the person along with A.O. Hume which led to the formation of INC in 1885. What happened in 1885? The first Congress session was organized and Congress was made. What happened, that what was the need of making Congress? Let us start with this manner, that what was the need of a party? What happened? There were two motives for making Congress. One motive was from the Britishers' point of view and one motive from Indians' point of view. Let us talk about the point of view which is of the Indians. What happened? Indians thought we require a organization which can present our demands in front of the Britishers in a proper manner, and our demands can be channelized and the Britishers should act for the development of our country. Earlier what happened, that the people which joined Congress, they thought that the Britishers are boon for our country. What is you understand by the term boon? Boon basically means वरदान. वो हमारी कंट्री के लिए वरदान है. वो सोचते थे कि जो हमारे लिए ब्रिटिशर्स कर सकते हैं वो कोई नहीं कर सकता. Britishers have done lot of good things for our country. That is why they belong to a section which is known as moderates. We'll be discussing that in this chapter only in the further video. Now what happened? What was the real motive of the Britishers for the formation of INC? The Britishers thought that the revolt of 1857 was a furious revolt. What was a revolt which shook the British Empire at the whole. So the Britishers were very shrewd, you know. They had a policy of divide and rule. They were shrewd. बहुत चालाक लोग थे ये. So what happened? They formed a policy. They thought we should make a party so that the demands of the Indians should come in a channelized manner from one direction, and we should have the count of the nerves of the Indians. What do you understand by the count of the nerves of the Indians? मतलब हमें उनकी नर्व्स का एहसास होता रहे कि क्या खिचड़ी पक रही है इंडियन सोसाइटी में. so that whenever they feel that there is a situation of revolt, so they can control it. That is why the Britishers promoted this type of organization, which was known as INC. That is why Lord Dufferin was a person who promoted this, as well as A.O. Hume. What happened that the first session of the Congress was planned to be held in Pune. Pune basically was planned that in 1885 we will be having a first session of the Congress in Pune, but the situation was not favorable for that session because plague spread in Pune. Plague is a disease which is caused by rats, you know. So the plague was spread in Pune. So what happened that in the month of December, it was shifted to Bombay. Now the first session of the Congress was held in Bombay under the guidance and the chairman and presidentship, you can say, of W.C. Banerjee. W.C. Banerjee was the person who headed the first presidentship or chairmanship of the Congress in this session. What happened in the earlier sense, the Britishers were having friendly relationship with the Congress. Why they were having friendly relationship with the Congress? Because they thought that Congress is a body which would work under the Britishers and they would be working as the Britishers would want. That is why they were having a very good relationship with the Congress in the earlier instance. Their British officers attended the meetings of the Congress. They had tea parties. They were having a merry time with each other. But as the time progressed, the Congress basically fell into the hands of certain leaders which were not satisfied with the progress of the work done by the Britishers as well as the achievements of the Indians in the field of independence. That is why the British nature towards the Congress became hostile. Yes, we'll be talking about the extremist group in this chapter only. So I hope you know that why was the Congress formed, what was the real motive, what was the motive of the Britishers, and what was the motive of the Indians. What happened that Congress was an association of different presidencies. You know, I've told you Indian Association was founded by Surendranath Banerjee, then Bombay Presidency, Calcutta Presidency. All these were also merged together to form a united Congress, a very important part in the freedom struggle to India. But in the earlier instance, the Congress was not a popular party. Why it was not a popular party? Because Congress was considered to be party of rich and educated people. The general masses thought this party is basically of great rich people and educated people. It is not of the common masses. But later on, when Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, they joined the Congress and they made this Congress into a real party of the masses, where all the common people joined the party. So I hope this portion is clear. Now we'll be moving towards the contribution. Now we'll be talking about the contribution of different personalities. You know that first of all we'll be talking about what are moderates and what are extremists, and then we'll be talking about the contribution. Suppose, what are moderates? When the Congress was made, I've told you there was a section of the Congress that believed that the Britishers are boon for our country. They should be there in our country because they can only govern the country in a proper manner and nobody else can govern it rather good as the Britishers are doing. So the moderates were the person who were pro-British. Pro-Britishers मतलब समझते हैं? Pro-Britishers मतलब Britishers के पक्ष में. They were pro-Britishers such as W.C. Banerjee, Dadabhai Nehruji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale. They are known as pro-Britishers. Moderates, Surendranath Banerjee was also a part of that. Moderates were basically the people who thought that the Britishers are boon for our country and we should work under their guidance and they can bring changes in our society and we should have a policy. It was believed that the Britishers had a good relationship with moderates because the moderates always listened to the Britishers and they always do whatever the Britishers told them to do. The moderates adopted the policy of 3 P's. 3 P's. P matlab? Yes, P matlab pact. They adopted a policy of 3 P's. 3 P's. What were the 3 P's? Prayer, petition and protest. What happened in the three P's, basically prayer, petition and protest, they always had a policy that we should always have a pleading approach, that the Britishers should do whatever they are doing. Then they submitted application. They were having too much of time for waiting. That is why they did not have any official way of protest. They only used to show their protest in written manner. And the Britishers were also knowing that they will do nothing and they were not acting on it. So the Britishers were taking full advantage of the moderates, and moderates were playing in the hand of the Britishers as their puppets, and the moderates were not able to achieve great things as the extremists did. But we cannot say the moderates were zero or the moderates were irrelevant. We cannot say that. Why we cannot say that? Because moderates played a very important role in awakening the nationalism in India. If the moderates would have not been there, then what would have happened? That the nationalism would not have been developed. So the biggest achievement was creation of development, formation of INC, Indian National Congress, and an organized demand in front of the British. So the moderates era basically ran from 1885 with the formation of the Congress till 1905. We'll be talking about 1905 and the event which took place, partition of Bengal, it would be in the next chapter. Basically what happened, now we'll be talking about extremists. एक्सट्रीमिस्ट, अभी देखिए मॉडरेट्स, इनको एक नाम से और जाना जाता था हिंदी में, नरम दल. अभी तक बातों से तो आपको पता चल गया ना, बड़े स्वभाव में शांत थे, बड़े ही चित्त शांत वाले लोग थे, बड़े ही शांति से काम करते थे. दैट इज व्हाई दे वर नोन एज नरम दल, शांति प्रिय. अब व्हाट हैपेंड, बट अब आपको भी मालूम है कई बार तो शांति से काम नहीं होता, हम ही लोग नहीं करवा पाते, तो हम ही लोग थोड़ा सा वॉयलेंट हो जाते हैं. बट नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड, ये एक्सट्रीमिस्ट पोर्शन की जब हम बात कर रहे हैं, दे आर ऑल्सो नोन विद द नेम ऑफ गरम दल. अब गरम दल मतलब ये बात नहीं है कि दे पिक्ड अप द आर्म्स, ये बहुत ध्यान रखिएगा. दीज वर ऑल्सो नॉन वॉयलेंट, दीज वर ऑल्सो नॉन वॉयलेंट, दे बोथ वर नॉन वॉयलेंट, बट द वे ऑफ प्रोटेस्ट वॉज डिफरेंट. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Understand that you cannot say that moderates did not pick up the arms and extremists pick up the arms. No, extremists also did not pick up the arms. ये बहुत क्लियर रख लीजिए, extremists ने भी हथियार नहीं उठाए, ना moderates ने हथियार उठाए. तो ये मतलब ये नरम दल हैं और ये गरम दल कैसे हैं? अपने तरीकों की वजह से. Because what happened that extremists did not believe in the British sense of justice. What happened? The Britishers were always exploiting the Indians and they thought that the Indians are only for exploitation. But extremists thought that Indians should get rid of this British government and take all the control together. Swaraj should be there, proper self-governance should be there, and if the Britishers are not listening, we should have a stronger protests such as hartals, lockouts, strikes, satyagrah. Basically satyagrah was introduced by Gandhi ji. That is why satyagrah is always associated with Gandhi ji, because this was the official name of the protest which was given by Gandhi ji. So we can say hartal, lockouts, dharna, these were basically the parts which were taken by the extremists for getting their demand fulfilled. And the leaders among the extremists which were most prominent were Lal Bal Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, and Bal Gangadhar Tilak. So Lal means Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal means Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Pal means Bipin Chandra Pal. Don't get confused with that. Now, I hope this moderates and extremist portion are clear. That moderates were the basic people which were the pro-Britishers. They were anti-Britishers. Moderates wanted the Britishers should stay in India. They did not wanted that the Britishers should stay in India. They were basically adopting the policy of three P's: prayer, petition, and pleas. Whereas the extremists adopted the policies of strikes, lockouts, and dharna. Extreme moderates were led by Surendra Banerjee, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Dadabhai Naoroji, W.C. Banerjee, whereas extremists were led by Lal Bal Pal. Now, we'll be talking about the contribution which was being played by our prominent leaders such as Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal and Gopal Krishna Gokhale. These four are important for your board examinations also, that is why we'll be studying about it. First, Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Gopal Krishna Gokhale basically was the person who is known as a pioneer among the Indians, as he was the political guru of Gandhiji. What happened that Gopal Krishna Gokhale went to South Africa, convinced Gandhiji to come back India and lead the Indians in the freedom struggle. That is why Gopal Krishna Gokhale is known as the political guru of Gandhiji. But Gopal Krishna Gokhale was a moderate leader. He was basically raising his voice for better governance, for governance of the country in a proper manner. He wanted that there should be self-rule of Indians, but the Britishers should be governing us. Next, he founded the Servants Society of India. Servants Society of India basically worked for the poor people in our country, and he also developed the spirit of nationalism among the Indians. Next, we'll be talking about Lala Lajpat Rai. Lala Lajpat Rai is a famous personality. He is known with the name of Punjab Kesari. नाम से ही आपको मालूम है पंजाब केसरी. लाला लाजपत राय इज अ फेमस पर्सनालिटी. ही वाज अ लॉयर बाय प्रोफेशन. ये एक लॉयर थे, एडवोकेट थे बाय प्रोफेशन. ही वाज अ ग्रेट इंडियन स्ट्रगल freedom struggler. He was from the extremist group. He wanted the Britishers should be thrown out of our country, and he was having a extremist mentality that the Britishers should be thrown out of our country. He wanted that the Britishers should not interfere in the internal matters of Indians, and Indians should be governing themselves in a proper manner. He, along with the Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Lala Bipin Chandra Pal, played a very important role in awakening the masses and making Congress a political party for the general public. He sacrificed his life under the protest of Simon's Commission. What happened? Simon Commission came to India in 1928. When this Simon Commission came to India, basically there was a lathi charge which was started by the Britishers. In that lathi charge, Lala Lajpat Rai received certain fatal blows of lathi on his head, and he succumbed to injuries. Next, what happened? Now we will be talking about the Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, a very important name. He is also known as Lokmanya Tilak. Lokmanya Tilak or Bal Gangadhar Tilak started the Home Rule League in India. Home Rule League in India was started by Bal Gangadhar Tilak or Lokmanya Tilak, which was started in other portion of the world by Lala Lajpat Rai. Bal Gangadhar Tilak also started two newspapers, which was Maratha and Kesari. Bal Gangadhar Tilak was also known with the name of forerunner of Gandhi. A important question which is being asked. Why Bal Gangadhar Tilak was known as the forerunner of Gandhi? Because Bal Gangadhar Tilak for the first time introduced the Swadeshi and boycott movement. What happened? The Swadeshi and the boycott movement was started by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, which was later on adopted by Gandhiji. That is why he is known as the forerunner of Gandhi. Bal Gangadhar Tilak was a prominent Indian leader because he created a spirit of nationalism in India and an extremist mentality that we should fight for the freedom struggle from the Britishers. And now what happened that Bal Gangadhar Tilak also introduced two big festivals of Maharashtra. You know, Maharashtra Ganpati festival is there. Ganpati festival and Shivaji festival. Two festivals was organized for the first time by Bal Gangadhar Tilak for promoting Hindu and Muslim unity. So Bal Gangadhar Tilak was a very important personality who played a very important role in awakening of the Indians. Next we will be talking about the Bipin Chandra Pal. Bipin Chandra Pal was basically belonging to a high Hindu society, and he was having a rich family, but by birth he wanted that he should be fighting for the freedom struggle in India. That is why after completing his initial education he became a headmaster at the age of 21, very small age. When he became the headmaster, he decided to join Congress. At that moment, Congress was becoming popular day by day. He joined Congress, came into contact with Aurobindo Ghosh, Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Lala Lajpat Rai. Then it was the trio of Lal Bal Pal which together formed various associations. Bipin Chandra Pal awakened the masses in Assam and Bengal and created a feeling of nationalism among the Indians. He was also a pillar in the Indian struggle for freedom. They together formed the trio which is also known with the name of Lal Bal Pal. You get a picture of Lal Bal Pal in your board examinations. I hope this video was clear to you. If you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification icon so that you can get all the notifications. Thank you.